Skye, like, can you, like, if you don't mind, share your journey of healing, like, very quickly? Like, from the very beginning when you started, feeling that you're, like, getting ill, you're getting sick, to your full recovery. Like, if you can kind of summarize it very quickly, that would be awesome.
We're probably going to have to do that another day, only because it started when I was 8. I'm now 40.
Okay.
So it would take, look, I can give you the general.
Yeah,
I can tell you the
general,
general.
please.
Okay. So it started with, I was such a healthy child, and it
Okay.
started with chicken pox when I was
Okay.
8. I got the chicken pox and had never recovered. So when I say that, I then was in bed for 2 years afterwards. I missed so much school. That's when the surgery started. They removed my glands, my adenoids. My glands were out here, and it got worse, but it got better. So a few years it would get better, but then I just get sick again. By the time I was 16, I was in chronic pain. At school, I couldn't get to school again. I was seeing more doctors and having more surgeries, investigating surgeries all the time. And then by the time I was 20, the pain was so bad, I actually went to a neurologist. Actually did a biofeedback, and they used machines because it was around my hips and waist and lower pelvis. They actually put a machine on me that gives a biofeedback reading that for pregnant women who are giving birth. They couldn't get a start point with me. So the pain I was in was stronger than a woman in labor every single day. They'd given me, like, they noticed that my hormones were all out, and they were still giving me surgeries, and I was about to give up. And then eventually a surgeon went in and found a piece of disease in me, and he took it out, which was like a second uterus. Called it a stroma. So a stroma is like a meat or a piece in the wrong spot. So they took it out. For 2 years, I was well. And then the pain came back again, and it was even worse. And by this stage, they had me on anti-inflammatories as well. And then it's kind of a mess. So that's when I got traumatically sick, and I went to ICU and had to remove my stomach, my duodenum, and the top of my intestines, because a perforated ulcer had burst, and I didn't feel it even when I was vomiting blood, because of the pain in my back was so bad. So it's all relative, right? So I didn't notice that there was like a bullet hole in my stomach, because the pain every day in my back was all I felt. So then I went through that, then more back surgeries and pelvic surgeries to try and fix this. And then they were injecting all sorts of things into me. So this went on and on and on. By this stage, I think I'd had over like 40 or 50 surgeries. Eventually, they discovered that by putting me into menopause worked. And I wouldn't take any more chemicals. I said, just give me a hysterectomy. So they did that at 30. By this stage, I was on massive amounts of painkillers and hormone replacement. That took another 5 to 6 years to come off. By this stage, I was in ICU all the time. My body was just shutting down. Like, it literally, no matter what they did, I was just so ill. It was like my body was shutting down. Then at 30, 36, I just been so much trauma. I lost my memory. I knew what had happened, but I couldn't really connect to it. And I got well for a year, and I actually went on a paleo diet. I was doing really well until I got shingles, and then I couldn't walk, talk, get up, move. I ended up in this neurological hospital, and that's when all the trauma kind of came back, as in I had to process what had happened for all those years. So it was just that those 4 years were just horrendous mentally. Then this time last year, I was actually in hospital. My liver actually started shutting down, because to deal with it, I started drinking. And I thought, I've got 2 years of this. Within a couple months, my liver shut down. I ended up in hospital. They had to fix me. Anyway, I came out, and my parents, I always lived at home. They ended up saying, you kind of have to live by yourself and just to see what happens. I did this, and for the first time in my life, I actually had to make food myself. And by this stage, I've been vegan for 3 years.
Yeah. You've been vegan for 3 years? Okay.
For 3 years. So this is 4 years. So made no difference. Actually, my blood tests were worse, but as I see it as a transition. Does that make sense? Like, I had to go there to get where I am. And when I started cooking for myself, I just noticed I was craving like turmeric, cauliflower, just kind of cooked a little bit, like steamed, just really natural foods. And I was doing better on this. And then I think I went back to drinking twice. And then I went, no more, Skye, you know the way. And just fresh foods were working. And as I say, at this point, I couldn't read what raw veganism was or anything. I found that out months into doing it. I was literally following my body, and I got well like that. Like, I mean, my world changed. Like, it's changing every day, but my blood's running cold. The difference in my life eating raw food is just like a miracle. So that's it, as quick as I can say my journey. And then the more I do it, the more I'm succeeding in life. Like, I mean, for a woman who was in hospital this time last year, to a woman who's working, got her own house, makes every meal myself. I exercise 1 to 2 times a day. Working my website, my family life is amazing. My friends I see, like, my world is just amazing.
Yeah.
And I credit it to raw food and sunlight.
Yeah. So, this is just amazing. So when did you start kind of eating, you would say, like, mostly raw, like about a year ago, you would say?
10 months ago.